Guys and gals, here's an easy one. If you're wanting to get AI on your computer that runs off of your computer, totally private, this is the way to go. Ollama, OLLAMA.com. Go over here, Ollama.com, and one of the first things we're going to do is click download. Select Windows, Linux, Mac. For Windows, this is very easy. No fuss. We're going to click download. It's going to download to your downloads folder. If you have it to where it automatically opens, it's going to automatically install. If it does not automatically install, just go ahead and double click it in your downloads folder and it'll run. If it requires Node.js, this is where you get it. You just type in nodejs.org or just look it up on Google. This is the actual page in case you're actually looking so you don't get on some type of scam site or whatever. But once you download Ollama, there is a few things you need to do. You will get something like this. It's just a white page. So you're going to need a model. You're going to need a large language model. So let's go back to Ollama.com, click models, and this is where it may seem a little overwhelming, but let's just do this the easy way. If you're just wanting one for code, we can go to tools or popular. We can search these models, so you're going to get what you want. If you're wanting one that is they call it obliterated, jailbreak, that type of thing, where it's not going to argue with it. You type in obliterated, and here we have the obliterated models. They're not going to argue with you. They're not going to question anything that you say. They're just going to give you a straight answer, but don't always trust what it's going to say. The easiest one to work with is this one with DeepSeek, hui.ai, obliterated. And right here, the bigger the file size is, the more computer it's going to take to run it. So if I downloaded the 70B, it's going to take a lot of resources. And even with this PC that I'm on, it takes forever to get an answer. I believe I have 8B on a 64 gig of RAM and NVIDIA 4070. But at any rate, all you got to do is look up here, Ollama run. Okay, so you copy that, make sure it's the right file. Like one of these, we'll get this. Now we need to open command prompt. You can go down to your search bar, type CMD. That's going to pop up your command prompt. Right click, and there it is. You need to come back here. Ollama run, and that will automatically, once you hit enter, that's going to download that version. Make sure that at the very end of this it says 8B. If we go over here, that's where you want to type in correctly which one it is, because it does make a difference. Each one of these are a little bit different. So if you've got a laptop, not so much RAM, not so much video power, get this 5 gig version. it'll probably run it. If it don't, go to one of these others. I believe it is Gemma 3. It is. Gemma 3 is one of the most capable models that runs on a single GPU. It says it right there in the title. It does have different versions, as you can see here, and one of them is 17 gigabyte. And let's just say your $300-400 laptop, it's not going to run that. This one that's 3.3 gigabyte, it's probably going to run it. What is the difference here? These smaller ones are just dumber. That's all it is. These larger ones have a little, basically everything that they can throw at it, put into them. The smaller it is, the dumber it is. That's just the way it is. So whenever you get the smaller ones, yes, it may be a little bit dumber, but it will work. It's going to answer most of your questions. And if you want, like I said, go back to models, search for what you're looking for. Everybody's got a different thing on what they're wanting AI for. So if you're wanting something for coding, Mixtral or one of the other ones, like on this one, I've got the DeepSeek just so it won't argue. Dolphin, it don't argue very much. Mixtral, this one, Mixtra, L, it is going to run real good for code. So if we want to, let's say, make me Python for 5 days weather forecast, or let's say a zip code. I think this is a good one. So it'll take a little bit of thinking. This version of Mixtral is a fairly good size, so it takes a little more thinking time, anyways, to pull up its answer. The other ones I showed you just a moment ago, they just pop up immediately. It starts spitting out the answer. But like I did say, it does take up some processing power. We can go to performance. And as you can see, it is using a lot of memory. On mine, it's running, this is a 32 gig machine, sorry. But 28, it's going to use quite a bit on your GPU, quite a bit on your memory, a little bit on your CPU. But if we look down here at Wi-Fi or Ethernet, there's nothing running for this. So to create a Python script for a 5-day weather forecast, you'll need to blah, blah, blah. This API, very easy to get, and all you got to do to wait for this to get done, copy, paste it into Notepad, it'll give you the instructions down below, and it's going to work. Now, they do lie to you, just like ChatGPT or anything else will kind of hallucinate a little bit. But this is the offline version. No one's going to be looking at your search results or anything about it. So this is definitely a good thing to have if you've got the space. I'm not really worried about anybody looking at my questions that I ask, but I did want something that, let's say the internet went down, I have a solar backup, all that kind of stuff. So, it'd be nice to, hey, let's name 10 edible plants in my area. So, that type of thing, it would come in handy for a lot of different things. But that's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. And each time that you want to go back and get a different model, just find whichever model you're wanting. And right here at the top, it says Ollama run GPT-OSS. You can copy this, go right back to command prompt, and right click. Let's clear this out. I should just type COS, but I didn't. And once I hit enter, it's going to start downloading. But not a problem. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great time. But like I said, do pay a little bit of attention on what I just said. Don't use these things for hacking and that type of stuff, because they can lie to you, and it's not a great thing to get mixed up in something where you're in handcuffs. But it is great for the average day user, and I highly recommend it. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'm going to leave the links in the description. If you have any thoughts, feelings about it, just give me a holler. Hey, y'all have a great day.